Hello everybody and welcome to today's Sunday Q&A, which today, in an effort to save time as usual, is brought to you while I'm sitting in the queue for Toddington car wash, or Toddington truck wash to be more precise. Get time of year, you know, with the grit and stuff on the roads and the salt, they get dirty so quickly. And I've got a pickup in Hitchin between 2 and 4. Currently, I'm going to be in Hitchin if I left now at 20 to 2, so I'm early anyway. And I was on, I came back for this one. I came back from quite a way away. I came back from Banbury, so a long way to go. I was going to Cardiff Monday morning, and it's a regular job for a regular customer, and it pays well and it pays quickly. So there you go. So what have we got to do today? Firstly, the intro. JB says, Pete, I've been watching your video for a while now. Just purchased my Transit Custom. I'm currently 22 years old. Looking forward to see what the future brings. Good luck, Jay. Transit Custom, I've been onto that one before, but it's a good-looking van. Can't get a lot in it, but it's a good-looking van, and you can use it for other things. You can park it on your driveway. If you have to use it as a car to take the kids on a school run, not a big deal. Oh, by the way, I probably will be stopping and starting a lorry as this goes along, because I think the flatbed's just moved it to the truck wash. If it goes on long enough, you'll see it, but it depends how long it takes to clear this queue. I reckon I could be about 3/4 of an hour. But it needs cleaning, and I've got time, so may as well do it. But good luck, mate, and any questions, any problems, you know where we are. So, fantastic. So, the big one this week was on factoring. Whether you should use the CX factoring, or whether you should use a factoring company. Well, ideally, you don't want to use factoring at all. It makes the accounts a lot clearer. You're not losing money, and if you've got enough scratch that you can run for a couple of months without having to use the factoring company until the dough starts to go in, do it. I have a very flexible factoring company. I'm hoping to lose them within a year. I'm going to try and get my head down and work, and we're moving forward, by the way. Hang on, just and work. I'll do the. I've got to put the seat up. Watch this. Going up.
Waiting for connection. Bluetooth is connected.
Yes, it's like Grace Brothers. Contemporary reference for the 18 to 24-year-olds there. Right, so we're just going to move forward here. It's telling me I haven't got a seatbelt on. I know I haven't got a seatbelt. I'm going there. It's not far. There's man on a high vis. You can't see that. I can see that. Okay, and stop. There we go. Be here for a little while. That's an entertaining little segment there, wasn't it, really? So, where was we? Which factoring company you use? Ideally, don't use one, but if you have to, should you use the CX? Can you use the CX? Should you have your own one? Gabor says, where is the CX factoring bit? Can't find it on the CX, never knew that it existed. It doesn't. What happens is, when you get to the end of a job, and it says create invoice, you click create invoice and it comes up with, do you want to email it, anything you want to include. And then if it's available, there's a box at the bottom and you've got two things. It says, do you want to be paid normally, where you just get paid, say the invoice is 30 days end of month, in which case you'll get it 30 days from the end of the month, strangely enough. Well, you won't actually. You'll have to ring them and go, I'm ringing about this overdue invoice. No, it's not always true. That's not always true. Or it'll go, would you like to be paid? And at the moment, it's like 60 minutes. There will be in your bank within 60 minutes. And you think, well, that's pretty attractive. It's not that cheap. It's about 10%. But, I mean, one came up on me yesterday, and I'm thinking, well, I've had Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what? I'm going to take that. But I would say it doesn't happen on every job. In fact, it doesn't happen on many jobs. Maybe you'll see this as an option on 1 in 20 jobs, maybe. You will get to know after a while which jobs do offer it, because if you do a job for Bob's Couriers and it offers it, the next time you do a job for Bob's Couriers, it'll offer it again. There's certain firms that are signed up for it and certain firms that aren't. But if it's not signed up for it, you can't do it. So there isn't like a thing where you get any job you do, you can go, I'm going to factor that one. If the person you do a job for is part of the factoring scheme, then you'll be able to do it. And I assume that what the plan is if it works from the CX, because I don't know, I've nothing to do with them, what they'll do is you'll see more and more options. You go, oh, they're on that now. Oh, they're on that now. It's up to you whether you do it. I say if you can avoid it, because it's going to cost you money. But if you have to take it, and it helps you out, I've done 10 jobs this week, 9 of them I'm waiting for. That one I can get paid in 60 minutes. Do you know what? I'm going to have that. That'll take the missus out for dinner. That's me Aldi shop, that kind of thing. So, Sean says it's good insight, Pete. He says a good way of thinking about it in terms of when the customer pays and considering factoring. This is another thing, and also the amount of money you bid on a job might make that difference. When you go to bid on a job now. And I haven't done this in the past. I definitely should have done, but now it's all on me. It's definitely got to be. I look before I put the bid. I look to see their feedback. Some people are unfortunate, feedback 3 positive, and then you look at the CX number and you think, well, they've only just started. So it's very difficult to kick them. They've probably only been running for 3 weeks, but then you're like, as opposed to if it's got positive feedback of 1,300, you're like, well, we're safe with that one. So you look at the feedback, look at the terms. And if they say, well, it pays 45 days end of month, and it's the first of the month, you're like, it's 2.5 months I'm waiting for that. So, A, if it's got that, you think, yeah, but they do the factoring one. I think, well, it's 2.5 months, but I can just factor that one. Or B, you might think, I'm going to bid them a little bit more money on that job. But then, given the choice, it might take longer to get paid, but they've got really good feedback, and there's one that might pay you 30 days end of the month, hasn't got quite the same feedback. I'd take the one with a really good feedback, or depending on where it's going, of course. There you go. Andy Darwin says, so do you have to send an invoice to CX once they give you the money, and then the people pay the job back? No, all you have to do is it comes up on you. It's all on SmartPay. It's all on the bit at the end where the invoices go bum 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 bum, and it just, so they would have already received the invoice and the POD electronically, I'm guessing, and it just says, do you want to have this job paid now? So you go, yeah, we'll have this job paid now. The geezer from don't tell me he's going to tell me we're shouting. Hang on a second. He's having a bit of a swear up there. You all right? No, he's going up and going to the toilet. Yeah, that's the geezer from the truck. He's shouting at somebody. I don't know if you heard that. He wasn't pleased. Right, so no, and that's what happens. And then you can alter it on your manually on, well, the soft, I don't know how this, if you use the CX for accounts, I don't. What I end up having to do is the money goes in the account, and then I have to tell the account software that it was paid. The invoice was completely paid that day, but there were charges, and there's ways around doing that as well. But I'm on Free Agent, so I think I'm probably one in 100 software using Free Agent. You're probably all on Xero or Sage or QuickBooks or something like that. So, but you can do it. But no, you don't have to send it. Presumably, if they do want hard copies, what I would do is I would then send a hard copy of the invoice and the hard copy of the POD. Got to do that when I get home. And write on it, paid on platform, already paid, or write stamp paid on platform or something like that. That's what I would do. Most people don't want to see it. Most people have got it electronically, so you don't have to worry about that. Shane Hardy says, Smart Way is good if the shipper's on it. Factoring companies cover the others for new starters and eventually pull away from them. So just because they're on Smart Pay doesn't necessarily mean that they'll offer because I made that mistake. I thought, Smart Pay enabled, brilliant. So I got to the end of it and went, where's the factoring thing? Next one, Smart Pay enabled. Where's that? No, it's not. I think you have to be on Smart Pay to have the factoring thing, but not everybody on Smart Pay has the factoring thing. So if they're not on Smart Pay, they definitely haven't got it, but that's probably wrong. But if they are on Smart Pay, there's a possibility they might have it, although, like I say, not that many do. So I don't think, Smart Pay, it's today, because there's a good chance you won't. Hong Kong Fooey says, can't see those shippers who require invoices and PODs posting or emailing through additional software, making Smart Pay an option, as they will never receive them. There are going to be shippers out there that still work the old way. I've got one today, bless him. I phoned him up. It says on your thing, you want hard copies through the post. Do you really need hard copies through the post? He says, yeah. He says, we do. It's a right pain. He said, but we have to scan everything in manually. Oh, okay. If that's what you want, I'll just print. If you've got the electronic one, this is the job I just done over at Banbury. I'll just print them and I'll send them in to you. It's not a problem. It costs me a stamp and a bit of time, but it's not an issue. I have one this week. Pay late. Again, they're not bad people. They just probably missed it. And then I rang them up and I said, I haven't received payment. She said, it's probably have you sent in we need the hard copy invoice and POD. I went, okay, fair enough. I said, I'll dig it out when I get home and I'll send it in. They go, as soon as we get it, we'll pay it. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So I've gone home, I've gone through all my PODs, can't find it. Oh, that's wrong. So and then I've worked out, I thought, well, if I can't find it, because I am meticulous about paperwork, you've got to be, I must have sent it. So what I did is I scanned it. I'd already scanned. I got the scan off the CX, attached the hard copy invoice, sent it in with the covering letter saying, oh, there we go. Back in a minute. Right, that was them ringing back on a job. I've got a job now. I've got a return job out of Cardiff. That's nice. It's picking up in Bristol Way, BS somewhere, and that's got to go Corby the following morning. That's lovely. So up, Monday's all done now. Over to Cardiff to Bristol, pick up, back to the yard, and Tuesday morning up and drop. And it's decent money. It's not bad. So where was we? I'm gonna have to knit this together now because they rung, and I tell you what, I could put this on airplane mode. Just do that. Do that, and then do that, and then go back there. There you go, airplane mode. Am I on airplane mode? Hang on a second. Do that again. Yeah, there's an airplane. You can't ring me now. That's cool. So I can finish this off. Right, where was we? Pom. Yeah, not everyone's on Smart Pay. That's it, yeah, right. Jay-Z says, he says, Pete, I have a question. Hang on, so we've done that one. Starters. Yeah, that was Hong Kong Fooey saying, yeah, there are going to be shippers that are doing the old system. Everybody who signs up will now be doing the new system. They have to. And then eventually, hopefully, it'll be a case of everybody who signs up is on the new system and on the factoring system. This could take 10, 20 years for them to get to the stage where, but it's going to be lovely. There will be, I know some people are going to go, I don't like this. When I joined, I had to fight hard. I had to wait. I had to do this. Now all these new people are coming in. They're getting paid instantly. This isn't fair. I don't make the rules. I didn't. A lot of people had to close video shops because suddenly streaming appeared. It was nothing to do with me, sort of is what it is. So there you go. I hope you're not queuing up to get in here. Right. Finally, Jatesy says. I'd like to answer more towards the younger drivers. Hang on a second. Why is this on this bit? Right. Well, let's go to the wise guys. Okay. Right. Oh, he's got pallets. I might have to move to that fork truck through. It's good, this Q&A, isn't it? It's like it's. I've got a lorry behind me. It's they'll find a way. Yeah, it's interactive, particularly if you're listening to this on a podcast. You can't see what's going on anyway. You can hear it, but do you want to see what's going on? Quickly show you what's going on. There you go. There's full truck. There's goes with pallets. There you go. Interactive. Right, where was we? Jakesy said, right, so we're going to go to the wise guys. Jakesy said, I've got a question I'd like to answer more towards the younger drivers. How many do this type of work? I'm 22. I'm looking to get into courier work with CX. I have a long wheelbase Vivaro, but for hire and reward insurance, I'm being quoted 480 to 4,800 to 5,500. I don't see how I can be expected to pay this and make a good profit. It's the thing, isn't it? It is a problem. It's like, firstly, you might be able to get it cheaper if you switch it from hire and reward to what's the other one? Light haulage. Because you're not really hire and reward. Hire and reward is your Amazon mob. It's 200 drops a day. We're more light haulage. That's 3 drops a day. But it might not make a lot of difference, and it depends on your no claims bonus, and it depends on where you live. What you can do, you can go and work for a courier firm, in which case you'll build up the experience, you'll build up the no claims bonus, and you might be able to get a bit of money behind you before you go out on your own, or you just swallow it. If you work it out, I think I worked that one out to about 20 quid a day. Does that work out? That'd be £100 a week, £400 a month, £4,800 a year. Yes, that's about 20 quid a day. And then your CX membership. If you get the right van, you get your head down, you go for it. There could still be money in it, but I don't want to give you a wrong one on that one. So it's up to you, my friend, how that works out. So, but I do understand for younger drivers, it might be a bit of a difficult one getting in the industry. It's just the way it is. It's the thing. Right, Rock God says we're on company finances. He said, do not confuse limited company finances with your own personal finances. Remember, the only money that belongs to you is your wage. The rest belongs to the company, including the vehicle. They're two completely separate entities with two different bank accounts. Even when you're when you're the only employee, you're an owner director, which is where I am at the moment. And yes, there is. It's two different expenses. Yeah. When I first started, I wasn't paid a wage by my own company until the first invoices were being paid into my company account, as my company had to prioritise things you mentioned, like insurance, diesel, subscription, before I could even afford to pay me a salary. So we're moving again. Getting through it, aren't we?
Skill 4 connection.
Yeah.
Bluetooth is connected.
And also remember, if you're a sole trader, it's all classed as personal wealth, so everything belongs to you, even the debt and more tax. I wouldn't go down that route. I think he's right. I think there's a lot to be said that if you are going to start it as a limited, just in case anything goes wrong. It really actually limits your liability. My new company is now, bearing in mind everything that went on with me, is now a limited company. So, but I'm hoping nothing's going to go wrong. And it also does make a point, it does make a little bit of a break on tax, I think, if you actually get up and running properly. Right, I'm just going to have to rebalance this. Turn that off. That goes out. Yep, take it out of gear. I'm always leaving it in gear. There we go. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. Lovely. Right, cheers. Thanks, yeah. Thanks, Rocco. Lovely. Hang on that down a bit. Carl Clark says you need a new operator's license if you move to limited, separate legal entity. This is true. This is another reason why it's good to start a limited company, and that way if you do decide to move out of a van into lorries, you've already got your established thing, you've got your bank accounts, you've got everything you can show, because the ministry like to see that, and then you just go, right, I'm gonna apply for an operator's license under the limited company which I've been working, and then bing bong. Whereas if you're a sole trader and then you suddenly decide you're going to go for an operator's license as a sole trader and you've got to change it to a limited company, then so you're a sole trader, your operator's license, 1 lorry, suddenly you need 4 lorries, suddenly for tax reasons you've got to go limited, then you've got to start the whole thing all over again, and it's just painful. You may as well just get it done from day one. So yeah, I think he's right. There's a lot to be said for it. Jackal says, what is the trick to go to if the DAF manual knob doesn't work? You said basically I'll give it a wake up in my hand but still unsuccessful. So what I think you're talking about here, and I can't really do it in this one, but you've got, for the computer, you've got, where is it, this thing, you're trying to come down here, back, and you push it, and what happens is if you've got like an LF, it's in the midsection, it's here. And what people do is they put a bag on it, and then it sort of doesn't work, because what happens is a switch underneath it pushes down. So what you've got to do is you need to get a flathead screwdriver or 2 flathead screwdrivers. You pull the knob off. That sounded a bit, didn't it? And then you get 2 flathead screwdrivers either side. So if I can demonstrate here like that, you get one in there and one in there, and then you slowly but surely prise it off, and that'll come up. And as you pull it up, underneath you'll kind of see a switch thing. And what's happened is the knob's gone down, it's pushed the switch thing in. So you have to push the switch thing back up again, put the knob back on, you can check it, and then click it gently back into place, and it should work. Literally, it's not a difficult job. But one guy explained it to me, and I pulled the thing off and then didn't know what to do next, and then I lost the knob on the top, and it's like, But once I got another one, it went wrong with me a couple of times after that, and when it went wrong, I just pushed it back, I just put it back together again. There might be a video on YouTube or TikTok or whatever that tells you, might show you how to do it, but that is basically how you do it. And finally, Arkham Autos said, because I did say this is the wise guys, I said I've got no idea what a D2 and a D4 is. D2 is the application form to add class 1 or 2 to your license. D4 is a medical form. Yeah, I think when I actually went through my test, I put the whole thing in. I went with Hughes, and they did. It's like a one-stop shop. So they'll go, we will pay for your driving, your exam, your theory exam, and we pay you get an app which teaches you what you do the app, because you learn. You think, oh, it's common sense. No, you think you are not going to know. What vehicle requires an orange flashing light when it goes down on like a public carriageway? I'll tell you at the end. Yeah, so you want to do the app, and then of course they pay for that, and then they pay for lessons, 2 lessons. It's only needed 2, and they pay for the test, and it was all at once. It cost you this much, bosh, I think about 700 quid, and there you go. And then I did the theory, passed it, did the lessons, did the test, passed it, got me thing. There you go. I did the medical. Yeah, no, I had to go over to Milton Keynes, which was kind of handy actually, sort of old this and cough, that kind of thing. But it was quite nice. So I come out and a woman said, the receptionist said, she said, there's nothing majorly wrong with you. She said, well, other than that. But she said, because he's seen people come in before, looked at them and gone, you need to get yourself down the hospital. I'm like, but I wouldn't have, if he would have told you if there's anything wrong with you, I'm telling you there is. And I said, well, thanks very much. It's nice to know. Yeah, so, which leads us neatly now onto Miscellaneous. Motowny says, he says he's on camper vans, and which we do the best van, that comes up a lot. It's interesting in the camper van and motorhome market. This was dominated by the Fiat Ducato and a Peugeot Boxer, but in recently there's been a major shift towards Fords and Renaults. I'm actually quite a fan of the Renault. Transits are what they are. Transits, they're kind of workhorses, aren't they? And I do love a Sprinter, but the new Renaults are all right. Apparently they took the blueprint, according to Nick, my mate Nick, Nick the Urban Trucker. They took the blueprint from the LDV, what it was going to be. But the new Renault's all right. We used to have one over at Transport It. That was right. Flexi Jones says Toyota. That's it. There's an exclamation mark. That's why it's not Toyota. It's Toyota. I presume he's just pleased with Toyotas. Maybe a good fan for that man. Brilliant. Matt Jennings says you can get a contract. Oh, this is to do with which is the best contract if you're running on the CX, because you're always going to get dead spots. He says you can get a contract which uses all 3 networks now, so you should have the best of all. O2 used to be great, but have gone downhill for some reason. I'm on EE and I don't struggle. Very, very rarely I'm in a position where I can't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm underground or, a lot of distribution centres, you can't get signals. And I think that's on purpose. I think they don't want masts around them because they're frightened everyone's going to be walking around looking at their phones rather than putting boxes in containers. So I think that might be on purpose. But, I struggle there. But that's whatever network you're on type thing. So, and we got the tracking. We're now at Tracking About with Steve. Steve the Nefarious has actually changed the name of it. He's got a channel. Steve, we're still waiting for the channel, mate. He says, this was to do with the ADR. He says, Neil shows the legal way. I'll show you the other way next time I pick up an ADR load. And he also says, I have got a dual SIM phone for my drug deals and other women. Of course you have, Stephen. Of course. Still waiting for that channel, mate. You get it up there. I'll send the links across. And this week's conclusion goes to Sean Gill Martin, who said, unironically parked next to Knights of Old that went under in 2023. Yeah, there's a video which I'm due to do, I think, which is what happens if you're doing a job and then you find out the company you're doing a job for goes bust. So anyhow, I'm going to have to knit this one together, so I'll do that when I get home. But that's today's Sunday Q&A. I'm moving forward now, one step closer to the jet wash. There we go.
For connection.
There it is over now.
Bluetooth is connected.
I'm going to go and get the truck washed, and then over to Hitchin to take out. Pass the seatbelt. Oh, I'm going up and take money.